So today I'm going to show you our drop and go system. This is a super quick hack so that you're literally only spending 5 seconds. Literally only took about 5 seconds. All right, y'all, so we are now back at the workshop where Mark, my framing guy here, will show you how to construct the base so that when you go on site, your install should only truly take you 5 seconds. All right, let's get this party popping. All right, meet Mark, y'all.
So the first thing we'll talk about is some of the materials we're using. This is a 12 by 12 paver. You can get it at Lowe's, you can get it at Home Depot. It comes probably in gray, maybe red, maybe a tan. They're the 3 color choices you have. Normally we cover it up with a tablecloth, so the color really doesn't matter. The other thing we're using today, what we normally use is 1/2 inch regular rebar. And you can buy that, that's 2 foot. You can buy that like that in pieces. This is kind of difficult to cut unless you have the proper tools. So that's not too easy to cut, that's 2 foot. There's a new product on the market, which is fiberglass rebar. This comes in 2 foot, I think, comes in 4 foot, 8 foot. This is actually very easy to cut. All right, so what we're gonna do first, this is gonna go into this block, so obviously I need to drill a hole. To drill the hole, can't use regular drill bits, we have to use what are called concrete masonry bits. So this is a 1/2 inch rebar. I'm going to start, we're going to see if that 1/2 inch hole is enough, but we might have to go a little bit. To get started with that, we need to find the center of this block. These pavers have a little beveled edge on the top, so I'm going to flip it over and draw on the back. The quickest way to find the center of any square is to take any edge, right? This happens to be a square, so I can put it on there. But I'm going to line that up with the corners, and I make a line somewhere near the center. Then we flip it around to the other side. Again, match up the corners correctly. And you draw an intersecting line, and that actually will be the very center of that square. That's the next thing I'm going to do, which you don't have to do. I want to go right through the center. So the drill, so it doesn't bounce around, I'm just taking an awl and a hammer, and I'm just kind of beating around that center point. So I'm making an indentation. That's all I'm doing. So now what's going to happen is when I put the drill in there, it's going to stay right there. Again, that's a step you could skip. So you need a drill. You could have a drill that's plugged in. You could have a cordless drill like I have right here. That's powerful enough. And because this is going to create dust, I'm going to go outside to do this. The key to this is drilling a straight hole. If I don't get a straight hole, then the pole's not going to be straight. So I need to look over top of this and press down when I do this so that I'm going as straight down as I possibly can. You're going to have a little bit of leeway, and in a minute you're going to see that we're going to glue it, and we're going to make sure that it's plumb or level. Again, you're going to go right to that hole. It's going to continue the same way. And as you can see, that doesn't take much to get that through. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of open this hole up a little bit, just going up and down a little bit. But it doesn't take much because I did the smaller hole first. It would take a lot longer to go through with just this bit if you started with it, but you are welcome to do that as well. I'm going to get the rod and see if it fits in there. So the rod fits in a little bit, but it doesn't have much play, which means I'm not going to be able to level it, right? So that's not level at all, which means I need a bigger hole. I figured I did. So we need a bigger hole, so I'm going up one more bit size. And let me just see what I have here. Of course, I can't read it. This is 5/8. So I'm going up to a 5/8 hole. Once again, just going to go right through this same hole. It'll be very easy to go through. Now, when I put the rod in, You can see how I have play each way. That means I'm going to be able to glue it and level it. That's the key thing. I'm going to be able to glue it and level it. So that's what we're I guess craft glue gun. This is a 220 watt shore binder. It gives me adjustable temperatures. I can make it really hot. The reason I want it really hot is because a lot of times this is a smaller hole than I do with some of the other bases. When I have a bigger hole, I have to fill it up with a lot of glue. It almost will take a whole glue stick, a long one. So I don't want the glue in here when I put it in to start hardening before I get it filled up. So that's the reason that I got this gun. Now, before we worry about that, we're going to tape up the bottom. We're going to take masking tape. I'm sorry, not masking tape, duct tape. And we're going to do 3 strips. We're going to do a cross, and horizontal in the vertical direction. And as I always say, if you can do it with 2, you can do it better with 3. So I put a third one on an angle. Doesn't matter what angle you use. I'm just going to run it across diagonally that way. But that gives 3 layers of tape over that hole, and that's all you're going to need to keep that glue in from the other side. Once I tape it, we're going to flip this baby back. We're ready to glue it, put the hole in, and level it. Now, this doesn't help. This is a magnetic level. It helps a lot for the metal rebar. It's not going to help with this fiberglass. But I have a second smaller one. These are called torpedo levels. You can find them in any Home Depot, Lowe's, any hardware store. Torpedo levels. So that pole is going to go all the way down to the bottom. What we're going to do now is go ahead and fill it up with glue. And as you're going to see, because this is very hot, I don't even really squeeze the trigger. I just push the glue stick all the way through because it's so hot. I want to make sure that I have enough glue coming out on the top, a little bit there. Then we're going to take this and we're going to force it down to the bottom. You're going to see some coming out. That's fine. It's because it's a very small hole. I'm actually going to wipe some of that off so that I can use my level appropriately before this thing starts hardening up. Now we're going to take the level and we're going to put the level on in 2 directions. That direction, and I don't know if you know what you're doing, but if you do, with a level, you want that bubble to be right in the center, just like that. Now you have to check the other direction. You can't just go one direction or the other. So I need to check this direction right here and see that that bubble is in the center. And then you just keep making adjustments. You're going to need to hold this for, a little bit, checking both bubbles. So hold it for a little bit. That glue does not take that long to set up because we actually forced most of it out through that hole. So because of the small hole, so we can go ahead and take those off. And it's pretty sturdy as it is right here. The very, very last thing I do is just make sure, because I didn't want to wipe out the concave there inside of the actual hole. So the very, very last thing that I'm going to do is just run another small bead of glue around it and wipe it so it's nice and sealed. I just want to make sure that I have enough, so I'm running a thin bead around like this. I actually like, when I have the opportunity, I take it like this and I just go ahead and spin that around and it goes in a nice circle and I get all that off of there like that. And there we go. Again, very sturdy. Once it hardens up, you need to let it sit, obviously. It doesn't take that long for hot glue, but we won't use this until overnight to the next day. So don't make them 10 minutes before you need to use it. My recommendation, we're using these instead of rebar. We're using these for our columns, right? Because what we're going to do, what you're going to see later, is that we're just going to slide the EMT directly over top of this and it goes right to the base, right? This is plenty sturdy to hold that column in place. But I don't know that I would use this fiberglass, particularly this size, if I was doing an arch. Anything that you're going to be stressing and pulling on it in one way or another, you don't need to do it. All this is doing is holding the pole. The balloons, they don't have much weight. This is perfectly fine. I sure wouldn't carry it from the top like this. I normally pick them up and carry them like this, right? So that I'm not pulling the pole this way or another. This is just glue. Now, the nice thing about this is that they are completely reusable. And guess what? If you find out it has too much play or it's leaning, all you need to do, you can force this out. You can force the pole out of the hole, just go on the other side. Get another pole like this and take the tape off and bang it out, clean out the glue, and just re-glue it. And you can start it all over again, right? If you're finding that you need a little bit more assistance, here's another trick that I'll throw to you that'll really solidify this. If you take some small nails, let me see what this says here. I don't even know which ones I have. These are just 1" 16 galvanized nails, that's it. And you put it on either side in that glue, right? And then you just kind of beat it down into the hole. And you can take, I'm going to use a file. You can use a screwdriver if you want. Just put that on there and you beat that nail right down into that glue like that. I do one on that side. I'm going to do one on the opposite side. Sometimes if you put one nail in, it's going to throw off the verticality. It's not going to be vertical. If that's the case, you just need to get one on the opposite side. And again, use your level and check to make sure that you're where you need to be on 2 directions, right?
I'm going to show you how easy that is, and also to show you here that you simply prep and you put it in your moving vehicle and you cover it so that there is not a lot of debris in transport, and also hopefully it will prevent any pop. So you'll remove the bag. Again, I use the bag to prevent any poppage during transport and any debris from picking up any debris that's inside of the moving vehicle. Okay? So then that piece of EMT that I showed you, these quads, it's called a chevron pattern, has been placed on the EMT, and let me show you how quick it is to do your drop and go. So I go ahead and I find the bottom, which is right here, and I place it right over and drop it in, and I am done. Literally only took about 5 seconds. Now, if this needed a topper, I can go ahead and place it now. Other than that, the install is complete. All right, that completes the tutorial. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and please be sure to subscribe because I'm on a quest to reach 10,000 subscribers. So your subscription really will help my channel. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye, y'all.